Unique New York. Unique New York. What's up, guys? Sam here from Three-Legged Tacos. Hope you're doing well out there in this lawless hellscape that is the post-coronavirus world. Today we're going to be doing something fun. We're going to be just kind of dusting the cobwebs off and getting back into a little bit of cooking. Now, today's not going to be super intense. The idea for our Wednesdays, it's Thursday, I know. Anyways, it's Thursday, but these are supposed to come out on Mondays. Sorry, shit. They're supposed to come out on Wednesdays, so imagine it's yesterday. Today. But now at this point, we're all hopefully calmed down a little bit. We know that supply chains are not going to be interrupted and that our lives aren't going to be some sort of nightmarish George Romero type of situation. That's a zombie movie reference for anyone who didn't get it. We wanted to reconnect with you guys and just get back together to do a little home cooking, nothing too complicated, and a way for you to kind of cook with a lot of those like old ingredients that are not disappearing from your pantry and from your refrigerator. Feel free to join us every Wednesday. We're going to be pre-recording these videos for Wednesday from, as you can tell, this is not a food truck. This is my kitchen. These will be out Wednesdays. In the description for these videos that come out on Wednesdays, I'll also have a shopping list, some short. That'll happen at 3:30 p.m. every Saturday. And instead of getting rid of the stuff in your pantry, the Saturday videos will be more focused on something a little more fun. Something a little more aligned with what we normally do for Three-Legged Tacos. You'll have a few days head start to get your shopping list together, and we really hope you join us for that. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel pressured. Anyways, today's gonna be laid back. Have a beer if you wanna cook along. I guess you're gonna be doing that in the future. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows if we'll even still be here? I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Anyways, I'm gonna go through a list of the equipment that you're gonna need today, as well as the ingredients. Some of you might have this stuff laying around, some of you won't. I'm gonna do everything I can to keep it easy to hear and reduce any extraneous noise. We do have two dogs here. You might hear one of them. You might hear one of them hopping along. That's Cody. If the Amazon people come, he's gonna be real loud. So I apologize in advance. I'll try to edit it out or keep it in. Who knows? I don't know yet. There's one of them. Say hi, baby. Hi, baby. I'm not gonna pick the other one up because she'd get mad at me. Anyways, without further ado, let's make some beet risotto. Now, one thing I want to say is that, you know I'm already hearing in my mind, I'm hearing people being like, well, Sam, risotto's hard to do. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And it can be a pain in the ass. And you sit there for like an hour, just thinking about it, willing it to be good, and it won't happen, which I totally get. It takes a lot of stirring. It's kind of work intensive. That's why I'm gonna make mine with orzo. The other reason is I don't have any arborio rice in my house because I am not a duke. Arborio rice is rice along with the other kind of arborio rice traditionally used for risotto that I don't remember the name for because it's got some sort of Italian name. What I do have is orzo, which is technically pasta. This is made of wheat. So if you're gonna go the easy route like me, make sure you're not gluten-free. If you're gonna go the easy route like me, make sure you're not gluten-free. I don't think that's gonna be my cooking catchphrase, but we'll see. I rhymed again. I rhymed like 3 times in a row. I didn't even try. Who knew? So let's go through a list of some stuff that you're gonna need over here. I gotta move that. So we got some food here. We got some stuff here. This is the food. This is the stuff. Anyways, what you're gonna wanna do, oh my God, my boom's moving around. Sorry, it's bouncing. That's bouncing boom. Anyhow, we've got some beets here. I just have little ones. A lot of people I know subscribe to Imperfect Produce. So a lot of times if you forget to customize your box, you get beets. anyways, we got the beets. You're gonna need a couple onions, 3 or 4. I had 2 little ones and a big one, so I went with 3, but you know what? I'm not your boss. Parm cheese. Gonna need some parm cheese. Some orzo, pasta. See, that's easy. 9 to 10 minutes. Forget about it. Un limon, or in English, a lemon. Some butter. And we might need a couple things other than that, but you know, I mean, we'll get there when we get there. We're gonna need a peeler. I like these Kuhn cones. You can get them pretty much anywhere. I think they're made in Swiss. They're made in Swiss, so you can get them pretty much anywhere, like kitchen supply places. You can get them pretty much anywhere. You can buy like restaurant equipment, Restaurant Depot, Chef's Warehouse, you know, those kinds of places. Also probably like Sur La Table, because I'm talking to like people who probably don't have memberships at something like that, because I don't know. I've been sitting alone for a month, so I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, we got a juice squeezer because I don't like to ruin my little fingies with squeezing juice. Plus, you get more juice out of your citrus using something like this. We have one of the big ones at the restaurant that you crank, but I don't remember what they're called, but those are really good. You're gonna need a knife. I like, since we're cutting a lot of veggies, I like oh boy, Nakiri. That's what it's called. I like a nice Nakiri knife. It's got a wide blade on it so that you can chop veggies well without, you know, a thinner one will hit your knuckle. Careful, this is really sharp. Not that you're going to be touching it. I like a spatula. This is a fish spatula. I don't know why I picked this one, so I'll probably use another one. So anyways, spatula. I use tongs all the time for a variety of different things. You can point with them. You can pick things up. And honestly, most of what I do with them is just click them, which to the great annoyance of everyone around me. I've got some ramekins, just to keep the ingredients together and prep them before we start. I got a couple bowls. See, this bowl's loud too. It's a music, you can make music with that too. And yeah, I think that's what we need so far. Let me double check. Salt. Salt, always kosher salt, never buy iodized, it's bad manners, and olive oil. So I did forget those, but hey, it's our first video. So there's several components to this recipe. One thing I didn't mention is you're gonna need an oven and gas or electric range, like a range, something to cook on. A cooking surface, maybe you cook outside over a fire, doesn't matter to me. I mean, you are going to need an oven too. So as long as you have an oven and you have something to cook upon, you'll be good to go. So a risotto traditionally, and especially this risotto, our beet risotto, calls for an onion cream. I don't typically keep cream around the house. I'm not a big cream guy. There's some sort of ginger baker Eric Clapton joke in here, but I don't know what it is. Basically, you don't need the cream. As long as you have the onions, what you can do is you can roast them up and make a puree that's just as good, and it pleases all of your friends that, you know, don't eat cream. You're gonna wanna set your bake at faux hundo. Oh. Well, it says preset now, so it doesn't really make sense. So grab yourself a sheet. I want 1, 2 onion. You know what? Just for good measure, I don't want to use up my olive oil for this, but you don't want these suckers to burn. Oh, these just came in. I don't know why the skin looks gross, but don't worry about it. If your onions look gross on the outside, they're probably fine on the inside, unless they're mushy. If they're mushy, don't use them. So get yourself a little Earl. God, this is hard holding a phone. Just a little glorp. Glorp. and a little glurp on the other one. Now you're just gonna wanna rub it. Rub one, rub the other with Earl. There you go. So what this is gonna do is we're roasting them with the skins on, because that's gonna keep a lot of moisture inside, which is gonna be good. We want that. And then the oil is gonna prevent the outside from burning too much, which we don't want either. So anyways, that's why we do that. Then, oven's preheated. Pop this sucker up. Oh, I'll go ahead and put these onions in here. Goodbye, onion. Set your timer to about 45 minutes. Boop. Next, we're gonna prep the beets. You can either process them just like I'm doing, because I don't have a ton of beets. I think I have 6 small beets. If you got a lot more than that, then you can also just juice the remaining ones. So as long as you have like 2 pounds of beets, or maybe less, I'm gonna have less. As long as you have 2 pounds of beets, you should be good. You don't need to juice them. Basically, the juicing is to get rid of the extra beets and add a super fresh element to the end of the dish. Once you've made the dish, you can add it, you can fold it into the risotto, and it just adds a nice kind of extra layer of acidity and a little bit of tang, and just tastes super fresh. It's totally optional though. I mean, this is laid back. I mean, I'm not gonna be coming over and tasting it. It's not that I don't like you or believe in your food. It's that I gotta stop eating so much. Now's the time to juice those beets, the extra beets, not the beets we just cut, but the extra beets. If you got a juicer, awesome. Don't try to use that citrus squeezer on those beets and then get mad and be DMing us because you made a mess in your kitchen or got frustrated and threw it out your window in your kitchen. Because that ain't my fault, dog. Use a juicer. Use proper equipment. Always be careful. Careful of your fingies. Careful of your neighbor. Careful of your partner. Just be aware, guys. Be smart. Let's get through this together. Also, before I forget, if you got beet stems, good for you. That means that you're probably shopping somewhere pretty sweet. Take the red parts of the stems, cut them lengthwise. No, cut them lengthwise. How do you say that? Just dice them up, toss them in a jar with some lemon juice and a little bit of vinegar, like if you got some distilled white wine vinegar, and some salt, like, I don't know, tablespoon of salt? That's all guesswork here. Stir that up, the lemon juice and the salt and the vinegar, in some sort of receptacle. And then as soon as everything is dissolved, toss those beet stems in there that you cut, whatever way it means when you cut them up. Toss them in there, and you get a nice flash pickle going on, which will kind of add a fun little element to the end. If you want. I'm not doing it because I just got, I don't have stems. I'm not cool like you guys. All right, let's start on this risotto. Make some real progress. Anyways, if you want, snag those beet greens and give them a good chiffonade. So, we're gonna start over here. I have a non-stick pan. It's actually clean, believe it or not. I like Winco. I buy a commercial because it lasts forever and it's the best. As long as you wash it by hand. Anyways, non-stick, no reason why not. We're gonna start here. We're gonna get it to a low high. That doesn't make any sense. We're gonna get it to a 6 out of 10, let's say. I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna add this much butter. I'm gonna give that a stir. I'm also gonna change my mind, and I'm gonna go with 3 out of 10 on the heat. Let's turn the heat down just about to a 3. And let's have a little butter olive oil party here. This is my power burner, so I'm gonna be careful and cognizant of the heat. Once that butter's gone, it's about ready for my onion. I'm gonna get that stirred. Ow! I'm gonna get that stirred around. Oh yeah, get that stirred in there, and it's gonna get hotter. I'm gonna put in this much, and then this much salt, kosher salt. We'll see. It's important to salt as you go, season as you go. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with salt and maybe just a little bit of pepper. Just a little bit. I don't know what I'm doing. This is an experiment. It's all a part of the great American experiment. I'm gonna go with 1 cup. That's right, 1 cup. Orzo. Bang it in there. And I'm gonna stir that guy in. At this point, let's add some water. I'd say about 14 ounces. Get that guy in there, get it stirred. At this point, like I said, we season as we go. Gonna add a little more salt. And a little bit more pepper. Also gonna turn the heat up just a little bit. Let's go to a 6 out of 10, whatever your equivalent is. So guys, I use water. You can use broth, whatever you got. I'm out of broth right now because I've been making a lot of soups. Bottom line is, once you start to get to this simmer, after you've added your broth or your stock or your water, is a good time to start paying attention to the cooking of your starch. So if you look here, this orzo is starting to cook a little bit. You're going to want to keep the flame on it, not too high. You're going to want to also be able to keep adding liquid. This just doesn't happen overnight. Once you got a good simmer here, go ahead and add your beets. This is also a good time to add your beet juice, if you have any. I do not. And slowly fold that in. I also want to add a little bit of acidity, but I don't want it to be crazy. Make sure you stir this, guys. Keep your eye on it. Be better than me. Take your lemon. You don't want to cut it in half. Pick a half, pop it in your juicer. And I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice here. Some of that lemon juice will cook off, but it'll give it a nice little flavor. One thing you can do, guys, along the way, don't be afraid to taste. You know, I know if it's not all the way cooked, but this will save you a lot of heartache in the end. That's coming along pretty good. You might have to add a little bit more seasoning. We're definitely getting there. I like it so far, but I'm going to add a little more salt. I'm going to add a little bit more pepper.
Look at the pretty colors.
Thing we're gonna do is make the onion puree. So here, I got my Cuisinart. And I got my onions. Sorry, I had to adjust my setup here. We got our onions out of the oven. We got our Cuis. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these onions. I'm gonna get the skins off them real quick. Get the rest in there. You can discard the skins. We don't need them. Those guys in there. And you know what? I think one might be enough. So maybe just use one. What the hell? I added a little bit more in there. But anyways, you get the soft parts of your onions in there. You can toss the rest unless you want to use them for something else. You can get rid of that too. And then you're going to want to get the other half of your lemon. Squeeze that in there. A little salt. I'm going to chuck some salt in there with it. I'm going to pop the top. I'm going to let that sucker blend for a second. So once this guy's blending up a bit, I don't know if you've got one of these. It's an awesome tool. Basically, if you see that hole there, that slowly allows oil into the decanter so that you're not breaking whatever it is you're making. So you can go ahead and pour that olive oil in the topper there and let that burn into there. And we're making some puree. So now that we got most of our moisture out of here, your orzo should be cooked down, beets should be cooked, nice and tender. I'm gonna take some of this onion puree that we made in the Cuis. Should have a nice puree-y texture to it. Add as much as you want. I'm gonna go a little crazy because, let's face it, it's delicious. I'm gonna fold that in. That adds some moisture that we'll need to cook down too. So once that's all incorporated, add a complexity to the flavor. A little bit of that onion. A little bit of that lemon. I don't want to get the heat too high here, but we want everything to kind of incorporate. Now, I'm a fan of cheese. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna grab some of this Parmesan. I'm thinking about, I don't know, half cup. Let's go crazy. Dump that in there. Incorporate it. There we go. That's looking risotto. Look at the cheese. All right, I think we're done. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. It's gonna take about the same amount of time to get those beets to the tenderness that you want as it is if you're gonna make this dish with arborio rice. So it just takes a little bit more patience, stirring, add more liquid if you need to. Just make sure you don't let it sit. And it'll probably turn out pretty fucking good, I don't know. Anyways, once you're done, plate that shit up. I like to add a little bit more cheese because cheese is fun. And I did some little julienne herbs on top there. So whatever you wanna do. I'm no expert. Give it a shot. You know what? That's pretty damn good. Yeah. You know, with the cheese and the onion puree, it's not overpowering. Like the beet isn't overpowering. It's a pretty balanced flavor. Surprise, I thought this was gonna be a disaster. Anyways, homies, these are just guidelines. I hope you enjoyed your time cooking with us. I mean, I don't know if you're cooking with us or, because we're done. I mean, we're done now. Maybe you cooked and just kept pausing it. I don't know how Instagram works. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed your time. We're so excited to get back in front of you guys and start making tacos again. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you on flip flop. Later.